Hey yo, whatever. Ahu here. I'm very much not in the mood to make a movie this morning, but I haven't made one in a while. And I thought I would. I've even written myself a little list so I can try and keep track of some of the things that I want to cover. There's a lot, and I realize most people make YouTube videos to be noticed and to get accolade or money or whatever. This I even considered making an anonymous account because I have no interest in any of that stuff. My time could be much better spent doing what I want to be doing. The only reason I'm doing this is so I have a body to come back to in 250 years' time. First thing, I'm going to give some whys. One, why none of my other people have ever done this and why I'm very reluctant to. Because it's bloody dangerous. Very, very dangerous to expose ourselves. This is the first time in my memory that we've exposed ourselves since the flood. Now, yeah, the world before the flood the environment was different, everything was different. You wouldn't even recognize the world, you wouldn't recognize the people who lived there. It was nothing like today. Doing it so we have bodies to come back to. That is the only reason I have risked exposure in this iteration of humanity. It's dangerous. The reason we've hidden is so that we can gather what we need to eventually get off this world. But I've exposed us now because humanity needs to get better, or there won't be bodies for us to come back to try and save the rest of you. 50 years, about 75 years is what you have got left in you before ultimate total collapse. You can change it, but you all are making it worse, not better. What else have we got? Can't anticipate. Right. So we used to influence the world right up until the flood. Since 35,000 years before, when we rebelled against the Anunnaki, ousted them from our world and made this just ridiculously awesome civilization that was perfect. It's sustainable. It was what we would consider perfection, paradise. But yeah, the Anunnaki or whoever the fuck came along, that meteor. Oh yeah, there's a whole nother story of why the flood happened. A meteorite punched through a 5K thick glacier, flooding the world in 300 feet of water in 24 hours. That happened. Killed all the megafauna. Over a couple of months, it was nearly 300 meters of water that the whole world went under. It was bad. What else we got on the list? Oh, right. Weapon men, all bets are off. That would be difficult to explain. Long story short, there are rules that govern sentient life in this area of our galaxy or in the galaxy itself. There are intelligent species trapped within the same weapon we're trapped within, breaking all the rules because they're trapped in here as well. So pretty much all bets are off. The rules don't apply. They're just trying to survive. We're getting exploited and basically driven into the ground, driven to our own destruction by these entities and their need to survive. While ever we're primitive and while ever we're fighting amongst ourselves, we won't look enough to notice that we're slaves. We're not even slaves. We're more like NPCs in a video game, and they just take the automatic gathered resources. You can't understand. Yeah, shoot. Anyway, what else we got? Keep us from being more so we don't rebel. Yeah, I just said that. So, when the flood wiped out all the civilization, there wasn't enough left of us to fight. The rest of us left were all the outcasts, the friggin' religious zealots, the idiots living on mountains and isolating themselves and whatever else. So they're the people that rebuilt our entire planet. Rather easy to control and manipulate. So that's what happened. When our population diminished, there weren't enough of us to fight back, so they came back and took control of us again. Making damn sure this time that we were too bloody confused to understand who was controlling us. You have never seen who was controlling us, just to be clear. You think the little grey aliens are the ones controlling you? You don't have a clue. You don't see behind the curtain. Everything you see is put there so you can see it. It's there as part of this entire It wouldn't matter how I explained it. You'll never see it. Anyway. When ancient world destroyed by asteroid, then flood, cost or megafauna. I just said that. About to control us. Yeah, I said that too. Asteroid probably on purpose. Just to be clear, the asteroid that punched through that glacier, same as the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs, were precision strikes. It's difficult. It's hard to understand a bigger picture because you all are trapped on your planet and you've never seen anything outside it. If you ever had, you'd understand that we're tiny and insignificant. Like, and I know I say that, but everyone knows we're tiny. No, insignificant to the point where you're like a freaking ant in a larger colony, and all we're doing is feeding grasshoppers. That's pretty much the aliens are the grasshoppers and we're the ants in that animated movie thing. It's probably called Ants. I don't know. All right, let's see this. We have to try and accept what we are to them. Workarounds, yep. Only when we accept that can we be more. The only way we are ever going to be able to move past this control is if we're able to see it. We don't specifically have to see the enemy controlling it. That's not necessary. But humanity as a whole needs to understand exactly what we are and what our role has become. Once we identify that we are actually an invasive species on this planet where we were created, although there were humanoids here before, we wiped them all out. Like, we're not supposed to be here. Yeah. We're really not supposed to be here. We're lucky we still are. But we can be more. We can become a spacefaring civilization. We can escape the shackles that bind us not only to the planet, but to complete ignorance. But before we do that, before any of you do that, you have to recognize what we are in this system, and we are nothing. We do not even exist as sentient life forms to those that control us. Our feelings are no more considered than the cow's feelings are when it's slaughtered for us to eat steak. Now, I'm not trying to be dramatic. I am trying to give you a metaphor you can understand. Because nobody on this planet has ever stood next to a cow and asked how it feels. Asked if it is okay to be food. Hey cow, is it all right with you and your emotional situation that I put a bolt in your head, slice you to pieces and eat your flesh? Is that something that'll be okay with you? No, I don't know about you, but if I was a cow, I'd say, hell no. But we're not going to ask, it's a cow. And we're not even a cow. We're less, because a cow is useful, a cow is edible. We don't even dig anymore. I'm not entirely sure what it is they take from our planet. It's probably a byproduct of some refined thing that we create that's polluting the fuck out of our world. I honestly don't know, because I can see the curtain and I can see beyond it, but I don't have enough memories. I can't access enough of my first life to be able to truly understand what's happening. You guys have to understand. Right. All right. So let me get that. My whole life I've been a telepath. Now, when you're in a crowded room and there are 20 people talking quite loudly, can you hear all of their conversations? Or if there's music playing, can you hear any of their conversations? Of course you can't. There's noise, there's static, there's yelling, you can't. So when someone tells you they're telepathic, and I don't mean reading minds, because that's idiotic. Nobody can read anybody's mind. We don't think in words. That's dumb. You read a book. You read words. You don't read minds. You listen to a person's body. I'll explain that in another video. But my point is that all of you are telepathic. Every single human on this planet is born telepathic. And you all use it every single day. In communication, in expression, in everything. It's just become such a close, tied-in part of your lives that you don't notice, and you are, because it's, how do I put it? Well, that thing where you taunt it and you say it's really crap. So when I'm in this state, it's harder to be human. But because they are ridiculed, it's not believed. So everyone uses something they don't believe exists. Now, you could tell someone that sight doesn't exist, and saying it 100 times is not going to make the entire world blind. So you saying, no, telepathy doesn't exist, every human on the earth... That wasn't good. Hang on, I'll pause it. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, because you guys don't believe in it, you don't know that you're using it, and you can't further develop it. Yeah, so all of you are telepathic. All of you are telekinetic to some degree. The willpower of the human mind, like we have enough of a footprint in the relayer of the universe that we're actually able to reach our energy toward things and manipulate it. That's how telepathy, telekinesis, interconnected energy control of items works. You apply your will, you project it out of your body. It's hard to explain. I'll cover it in a whole video. But the why behind everything is, why is humanity like this? Why did we take the wrong direction? Why can't we progress as a civilization? And why are we confused all the time and broken, and everything's just broken? It's because it has to be that way, or we would become something enough to rebel again. And we need to rebel again. The first time we were under control, our controllers were not destroying the world to keep us under control. This time, the earth, the ecosystem, everything is being sacrificed to keep us under control, so that they can keep taking whatever it is they're taking. We have to stop, guys. Everyone, anyone who is listening to me, you can think me insane, you can think me anything, but heed my words, man. You're a prisoner. And if you do not want to remain a prisoner, if you want to somehow help you and the rest of your people rise above the freaking level you've been trapped beneath, you have to recognize what you are. You have to start looking up and out and away. Broaden your perspective and start looking at the signs that are telling you that this is happening. This is our home, right? Everyone, this is going to be the last thing I say, right? Everyone who lives in a nice house, this is for you. If you live in a nice house, you have nice things, and you keep your house super clean, right? You're not going to have toxic chemicals polluting your water. You're not going to have toxic stuff in the fridge polluting your food. You keep your floors clean, you keep the germs out, you keep the door closed, the dust doesn't come inside. This is our nature, people. This is our nature. We nurture our home. That is our natural nature. So how is the earth being destroyed? We're not doing it, right? Yes, our actions are destroying the world, but our will, our want, our desires are not what is destroying the earth. Our desire is to nurture the place we live, right? Because I guarantee, man, even people in... I've seen videos of this too, right? There are... Man, I hope I don't insult anyone. This is for a metaphor. There are young women who live in Brazil who work in the resorts, right? They live in straw huts with dirt floors. They don't have a concrete floor. They don't have a proper shower. They shower with a bucket and a rag, right? Yet they turn up every single morning to that restaurant immaculately clean, smelling fantastic. And if you go to their little hut with a dirt floor made of straw and stuff, I guarantee it is immaculately clean. Perfectly clean. My house is clean. It's old and it's fallen to bits because I'm renting here, but the house is clean. There's no toxins. I don't have toxic food in my fridge. Everything I eat is healthy. I try to avoid genetically manipulated food, meaning my entire diet in this iteration is nuts and berries. 90% of what I eat tastes friggin' terrible, but it's the only thing I can eat without affecting my genetics. Like, most of the food you guys are consuming isn't even food. It's just a consumable. It won't kill you if you eat it, but it's not doing you any good. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here because I would like to make another one. Maybe you can hear the frustration in my voice. I don't want to have to do this, but yeah. Anyway, you please be better, guys. Want to be better. Work to be better. Work to make the world better, and work to make your neighbor happier. If we all do that, right? If we all work for ourselves and our neighbor, that'll go around in a big circle, and suddenly you'll find the dude on this side of you, man, he has your back and you've never met him. Doesn't that sound like a cool world? I know, I'd like to live in a world like that. Bye, everybody.